up, everybody? Welcome back to my podcast, whether you're listening on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, wherever you listen to your daily podcasts. I'm glad you're here, and we're going to get started. Today is the very big day that we've all been waiting for quite a while, actually, now. The NFL 2021 NFL Draft is today. I think it's 8 p.m. Central. Don't quote me on that. Please make sure you know. That way you don't miss anything because it's going to be action-packed today. But we start off with news that kind of affects the NFL Draft, but actually happened yesterday. Literally right when I uploaded my podcast, Teddy Bridgewater goes to the Broncos. I believe that he was traded for a 6th-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely going to make sure. That way we don't understand what happened, exactly what happened. So, Denver Broncos, if you guys didn't know, so they exchanged, so it happened for a 6th-round pick, number 191 to be exact overall. And that's huge for the Denver Broncos. Now, if you guys didn't know, Denver Broncos, Drew Lock started last year, was not very good and was actually pretty awful. I know that there was a point in the game in the season where they all got COVID or COVID tracing, and the Denver Broncos had to play a wide receiver, I believe, as a quarterback. It was awful. But that being said, I don't believe Drew Lock is the answer. If we look at his stats last year, right, or actually you can look at his rookie year, played 5 games, started all 5 games, 4-1, right? That's pretty good. Everybody's like, okay, we have the potential of a young quarterback. There was a Drew Lock craze going on in Denver, and I get it. I mean, it happened. 5 games, small sample size, but 4 wins, 1 loss. He threw for 1,020 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's pretty good. Then, like everything in the NFL, people start catching up. There's the accumulation period. You're no longer a backup stepping in. You are the for sure starter. That's when pressure gets in, expectations kick in, and everything becomes associated with you being the starter. The defenses, they study for you, and we saw what happened. Played 13 games last season. Started all 13 games. His quarterback record, the team's record, 4-9, right? 254 completions. Completions, 443, attempts. So that's a 57.3 completion percentage. Not the best. Yards, 2,933 yards, 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. I think, and I understand sophomore slump, but there's no evidence that shows that Drew Lock is the answer. That's just unfortunate. So with Teddy Bridgewater now in the fray, who gets the starting job? It's kind of like the Tyrod Taylor scenario. Wherever he goes, unfortunately, he always seems to be a backup. But when it comes to the Denver Broncos, you didn't get a Tyrod Taylor. You got a Teddy Bridgewater who has shown some stats, some level of stats. Now, he did lose. He won the same amount of games. Unfortunately, he did play 2 other more games, and then, therefore, he did lose 2 more games. He started 15 games, played all 15 games. His team record was 4-11, 69.1 completion percentage, so that's a lot better. 3,733 yards, 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So it's not a huge upgrade, except if you want to look at the completion percentage. And that's great, but it's not the answer. So with Denver having the number 9 overall pick, I believe that they should still be looking into a quarterback. Whether it's going to be Justin Fields, Trey Lance, even if they have to trade up, They only gave up a 6th-round pick for Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy Bridgewater, even it's in his name, is a perfect bridge quarterback. The Denver Broncos have a pretty good team. They have Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant. They have an okay offensive line. I believe they still have Melvin Gordon, if I'm not mistaken. But the key frame is they have a possibility of winning now. Now, in the AFC, it's challenging. I believe in the AFC, there's only 2 teams who are for sure contenders. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. I think if you're an AFC team, you have to tailor your team to face one of those 2. Kansas City is probably the most difficult because they are within your division. If you're the Denver Broncos, you face them 2 times a year, excluding if you go to the playoffs. So, Teddy Bridgewater is not the guy to go head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. But the benefit of having a Teddy Bridgewater is that you are able to get a quarterback who you believe is the future, right? We got 3 quarterbacks going top 3. That's for sure going to happen. Jacksonville is going to take Trevor Lawrence. Jets, they're taking a quarterback. The San Francisco 49ers are taking a quarterback. Now, we're going to talk about this later, but San Francisco really messed up if the reports that are coming out right now, breaking news about Aaron Rodgers, is very true. But we're going to get to that later. And that's why I kind of made this podcast today as late as I possibly could in anticipation, because I know today's going to be packed. Now, we're obviously going to address everything tomorrow morning, but it's going to happen today. Everything's going to happen today, right? So we're talking about Teddy Bridgewater. So that's 3 quarterbacks going 1, 2, and 3. And if I go down the rest of the list, Atlanta Falcons, I don't think they're going to take a quarterback just because I don't think they have the guts to do so. Cincinnati Bengals, they don't need a quarterback, so they're definitely not going to take a quarterback. Miami Dolphins, they've been so wrong. And this is their words, not mine, because they end up cutting their players. But they've been so wrong. I don't know who is the talent evaluator. I don't know who's the contract negotiator. I don't know who's making these trades, or even if the GM can actually blame anybody else besides him. But we talked about this in another episode. They've literally given up their biggest trade or free agent acquisitions from last year. So would they be willing to do that with Tua? They traded back to number 6. We have to address that, right? They were at number 3 spot. They traded back to the number 12 spot with the 49ers for 2 future first-round picks. Then they gave up one of those future first-round picks with the Philadelphia Eagles at number 6 to trade back up, right? And if we do the due diligence that we're supposed to, so that's 3 picks, 1, 2, and 3. Atlanta Falcons probably not going to take a quarterback. Cincinnati Bengals are probably not going to take a quarterback. That leaves 6 for the Miami Dolphins. That leaves 2 out of the 5 potential first-round picks at quarterback. Would they take a quarterback? I hope not, but I think they might. Detroit Lions, are they in love with Jared Goff? I don't think they're going to take a quarterback just because I don't believe they have the infrastructure to create the need for a quarterback. Carolina Panthers, they just gave up Teddy Bridgewater for a 6th-round pick. Would they be willing to draft a quarterback? That might be a possibility. I think if you're the Denver Broncos, you have to trade up to the number 7 spot to for sure land at least one of the top 5 quarterbacks. Because even if Miami shocks the world and drafts a quarterback, you still have a Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, whoever's left, a Zach Wilson at number 7. Oh, it's going to be a tough one. If I'm the Denver Broncos, I have to draft a quarterback. I have to. I know Teddy Bridgewater is not the answer. I know Drew Lock is not the answer. And no offense to those guys. They seem like great guys, but I know they're not the answer. So I think the Denver Broncos should trade up at least the number 7 spot, give up maybe 2 seconds in the future, draft whoever's left at number 7, and have Teddy Bridgewater play for a year starting, develop the quarterback, and then next year you're off to the races. Because this upcoming season, it's between the Chiefs and the Bills. Now, the Tennessee Titans might have a possibility. Baltimore, I would really love them if they get Julio just because of the outside threat. Even if they don't throw him the ball too much. The outside threat of him having Julio, Lamar Jackson, is enough to really mess with the defensive minds. So, I don't know. I think they're in a tough position, but overall, I love the trade. It's just a 6th-round pick. You didn't even give enough. You didn't even give as much as the Panthers gave up for Sam Darnold, who's considered a bust at this time. So, if I'm the Broncos, I won. I definitely won in this trade. Moving on from Teddy Bridgewater going to the Broncos, we have kind of breaking news today. Aaron Rodgers is a big topic right now. There's many reports going on right now. If you guys didn't know, I'm trying going to in a chronological order, and I know I kind of mentioned Aaron Rodgers' last topic. That's because if this is true, then the 49ers really messed up. So I'm trying to go in chronological order and all the reports that are going now, because there's still reports coming out at this moment. So let's just get right into it. Aaron Rodgers supposedly, reportedly, and I'm trying to go in chronological, that way you guys understand what's going on, met with the Green Bay Packers to discuss his future. Reportedly, the Green Bay Packers only offered to restructure his deal, no extension. Aaron Rodgers said, "Give me an extension or kick rocks." Now, if you guys didn't know, restructuring is basically just moving the same amount of money that you're supposed to make over some period of time into another form of payment, or paying it a little bit earlier. That way it doesn't bite the Packers in the butt whenever it comes time to trade Aaron Rodgers later. So Aaron Rodgers reportedly asked to be extended, and that means to sign another contract for more years. And the Packers said no. Then, reportedly, the 49ers had offered or had talked to the Green Bay Packers, no official offer, about what it's going to take to get Aaron Rodgers out of there. And now, Aaron Rodgers reportedly has told people within the organization that he does not want to return for the 2021 NFL season. Why is this a big mess up for the 49ers? Well, if you guys have been living on the rock, you would know, or you wouldn't know, I guess, if you were living on the rock, that the San Francisco 49ers traded a swap of first-round picks this year, right, for number 12 to number 3. They gave up a first-round pick next year and a first-round pick the year after that. So they gave up 2 future first-round picks for a prospect of a quarterback in college. Now, that draft package potentially, obviously you would lose the first-round pick. It wouldn't be a swap. It would just be a first-round pick. Would have been Aaron Rodgers. That, I believe, could potentially have worked to get Aaron Rodgers. Maybe a few other more picks, because, of course, it is Aaron Rodgers. But now the 49ers don't have the 2 future first-round picks. Now they would have to either give up starters. I don't know what they would do. I know they would have to give up number 3 overall. Right? That would have to be an absolute must. And if I'm the Packers, I'm interested. But I also want 3 to 4 first-round picks. And now the 49ers can't offer you 2. because the Miami Dolphins had to. They obviously traded one to the Eagles to get back to number 6 spot, but long story short, the 49ers don't have the draft capital anymore. Unless you give him maybe 3 second rounders and then maybe potentially 2 future first round picks and the number 3. I don't know what the package is going to be now. Maybe you give up Nick Bosa. Who are you going to give up? And that is absolutely insane. So, yeah, reports are saying Aaron Rodgers went up to people within the organization and said, I do not want to be here for the 2021 season. Now, it's a standoff. Right now, there's reports coming out. Everybody's talking, everybody's breaking news. Everything is happening right now as we speak. And I'm trying to listen to reports as I'm talking to you guys, and it's absolutely mayhem. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, so apparently reports, everybody's talking about NFL, ESPN. I'm sorry, I'm all jacked up on the breaking news, but where's he going to go? Now, I think the 49ers really messed up because they're the team reportedly that earlier this week talked to the Green Bay Packers about trading for Aaron Rodgers. But this was before today, right now, a few minutes ago, Aaron Rodgers officially told the Packers, reportedly, because he hasn't gone on to a stage in press conference and asked for a trade, but said he does not want to be on the team on the 2021 season. Where does he go now? Last season, Tom Brady was pushed out of New England, and that was big news. But the main reason why it was big news is because there was teams without a quarterback, but with the talent. If I'm the Browns, I'm trading for Aaron Rodgers. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'll give you Baker, which probably wouldn't affect you because you still have Jordan Love for the Green Bay Packers. I would give you this year's first-round pick, next year's first-round pick, every single pick I had to do to get Aaron. Because that's, I believe, if you look at roster for roster, I think that the Cleveland Browns are as talented, if not a little bit more, than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Those are the 2 main teams in the NFL right now. Kansas City, Tampa Bay. If I'm Cleveland, I go all in for Aaron Rodgers. This is huge. He's still young-ish. I think 37, 39, 38, 39, somewhere on there. And you have the roster. You have Odell. You have Jarvis Landry. You have Austin Hooper. You have David Njoku. You have Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt. You have the defense. Myles Garrett. You just signed Jadeveon Clowney. You have... if I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm calling right now and saying, what do you want for him? And I would have to probably trade in a few starters just to make cap space, but it's going to have to happen. Sign him to an extension, just like the Tampa Bay Bucks did. Obviously, Tampa Bay did it a little bit later, and they did it for the cap reasons, but trade for Aaron Rodgers, sign him immediately to a 2-year extension, push that money back, and right now is a win-now team. That's what the Tampa Bay Bucks... Tom Brady's cap number is, I believe it's $10.5 million. That's insane. But it has to happen. It's a win now. Aaron Rodgers wants to win now. He's older in his career. He doesn't care. Well, actually, he does care about the money, obviously, because he gave no sort of discount to the Green Bay Packers. That has to be noted. But if you're able to put the extension, push that money back, still pay him the same amount of money, just in a different way, that way it doesn't hit your cap hit as much, then I would... New England. Does New England want to trade for Aaron Rodgers? What is going to happen now? This is going to be the craziest draft because I believe he gets traded today. This is where draft picks have their most impact. You can't draft a first-round player and then trade him immediately. No, because the team didn't want him. No, you have to trade draft picks before draft night. And this just came out 2, 3, 4 hours away from the NFL draft. like I said, if I'm the 49ers, I'm kicking myself right now. And they should be, because they didn't even trade up to the number 2 spot to get the second best quarterback in the NFL. They're going to trade up to be dependent on the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Jets not to take their franchise quarterback, who they traded up for. If I'm the 49ers, I fire John Lynch right now. And I scold Kyle Shanahan. I can't get rid of him because he's probably one of the best offensive minds. But we already missed the opportunity to get Tom Brady. Now, that has to be addressed as well. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch both turned down Tom Brady. Tom Brady, free agent, calls them up. Hey, I want to go play for my franchise team that I grew up with. I'm from California. I'm from San Mateo. I think that's where he's from. I want to play for the 49ers. And they said no. Tom Brady had to turn around, unfortunately, head down to Tampa Bay. Now, that turned into a fairy tale. But as the GOAT, imagine another team turning you down. And then next year, right? You play out the year. You just turned down Tom Brady. You're like, oh, no, we got Jimmy G. He's healthy. He's looking good. Gets hurt. Doesn't play. You trade up to the number 3 spot. Give up 2 future first-round picks. You swap out this year's first-round pick. You try and trade Jimmy G. And now Aaron Rodgers seems to be available because he literally just told the Green Bay Packers, I do not want to be here this year. Oh, I am so mad if I'm the 49ers. That's 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks that you've either denied or butchered the opportunity. Now, because it's still possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. But the fact that you lost those 2 first-round picks is very impactful on what you have to give up to get Aaron Rodgers. You're probably going to have to give up Nick Bosa. You're probably going to have to give up a star player on your team. 2, maybe 3, because remember, Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, they were willing to give up 3 first-round picks to Seattle and 2 starters for Russell Wilson. The Bears, do they give up that same package for the Green Bay Packers? I'm so sorry. I know they wouldn't trade within the division, but I think that might be the best trade that you can possibly get. Because reportedly they were willing to give up I think it might have been 3 or 4 first-round picks, 2 starters for Russell Wilson. Now, the 49ers don't have 2 extra first-round picks. Oh, I am so mad if I am the 49ers owner. I am furious if I am the 49ers and let him go somewhere else. Obviously, they want to go within the division because the division is stacked with the quarterbacks, obviously. If the 49ers don't pull this off, they're going to have to be stuck with either Mac Jones, Justin Fields, or maybe Trey Lance or, the BYU quarterback. But having the opportunity to get Aaron Rodgers is insane. It's not going to go into your division. It might go into the conference, NFC. But this is insane. And like I said, if I am the 49ers owner, I am kicking myself today. I'm not a patient guy. If I was the owner, I would fire them both. But like I said, things are going crazy. Moving on, because I am excited for today. Jacksonville is looking to add Tim Tebow as a tight end. It's not breaking news. It's not great news. I think it's a little unfortunate for Tim Tebow. He did get drafted first in the first round to the Denver Broncos. And after that, was never really given a chance. Obviously, I do not blame the Denver Broncos. I probably wouldn't have drafted him that high. But when Peyton Manning comes knocking on your door and your name is not Tom Brady, I'm sorry, you're out of there. So I don't blame them for moving on from Tim Tebow. But he went out, played for a couple teams, Jets, Patriots, was never really given a chance. Gives up, goes to play baseball, never makes it to the majors. was subpar. If you are a true baseball fanatic, you would understand the stats. Subpar. No hate. It's just facts. Urban Meyer, his former Florida coach, is now a head coach for Jacksonville this year. Apparently, he contacted them. He's 33 years old. Still looked in shape. I know he's doing ESPN. He's never played tight end that I know of. He's always been a quarterback. I don't know what to think of this. I would be excited. Oh, I love it. I know that's going to sell a lot of jerseys. I know a lot of people are going to tune in just to see. I would buy the NFL package just to see if he does it, right? I'm still going to buy it because I want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win into the Super Bowl. But I would definitely tune in just to see Tim Tebow as a tight end, see what he would do. I don't think his body is going to be used to the hits anymore. I know maybe a few years ago he potentially could have been, but no, not now. Been playing baseball, be on TV. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. If they do, I would definitely watch. But I don't think he's going to make an impact as a tight end, especially if you get Trevor Lawrence in there. Maybe the veteran presence will help him. But that is insane. If they do get him, I'm happy. I'm going to watch it. But I would be very excited to see what happens. Moving on, Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, Jesus. They just keep butching the quarterback position. They gave up too much power to Big Ben, and now they're paying the price for it. They have no backup. I believe Mason Rudolph is not the answer, and if you guys believe he is the answer, then you've been watching a completely different game. He's had plenty of chances. I know Big Ben has been injured. He's a third-round pick. Last 2 seasons, started 9 games. I just don't see Mason Rudolph as the answer. And if you guys do, I'm sorry. But I just don't. He's never leaped off the screen. I'm pulling up its stats right now. 2019 draft. He has the size, 6'5", 235 yards. 235 pounds. Last season, played a total of 5 games, started in 1. His quarterback record, while he was a starter, he lost that 1 game as a starter. 25 completions, 43 attempts, 58.1 percentage, threw for 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 2019, when Big Ben lost the majority of the season because of injury, played 10 games, started in 8. Quarterback record in those 8 games, 5-3. 176 completions, 283 attempts, 62.2% completion percentage, 1,700 yards, 13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And the reason, I haven't even said the reason why I'm bringing this up, I'm sorry. He is closing in on an extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers. If I am the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would not do this. If I am the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would have gotten rid of Mason Rudolph, and I probably would have gotten rid of Big Ben a lot earlier. It's looking just to be a 1-year extension. I don't know the specifics because it hasn't been official yet, and they're just close to it, so it hasn't been signed. But if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm drafting a quarterback in the first round. I'm going back to see where they land. Pittsburgh Steelers, number 24 overall. I'm taking a quarterback. Kellen Mond, A&M. One of these. If Justin Fields falls, I'm taking Justin Fields. If Trey Lance falls, if somebody falls, Mac Jones, whoever it is, I'm taking a quarterback. Big Ben, not able to throw the ball past 5 yards. Mason Rudolph is not the answer. I see him as a bust. Yet the Pittsburgh Steelers still are giving too much power to Big Ben, and they're apparently going to sign an extension for Mason Rudolph for 1 more year. If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base, I do not like this move. I know we have to be aggressive in this draft. Draft a quarterback. You already have your wide receiver. The wide receiver, I don't know where they get these guys, but every year the Pittsburgh Steelers are top 5 in wide receivers. You have the wide receivers. You have the defense. Yes, you lost Bud Dupree, I believe. But you still have the opportunity to win now. You have a really good team. And if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base, I am clamoring for them to draft a quarterback in the 24 overall pick. It has to happen. Mason Rudolph is not the answer. Big Ben is no longer the answer. And I'm excited to see what happens, but I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback. I think they're going to go running back. That's definitely a position of need for them. But whenever you have a quarterback who is no longer viable, such as Big Ben or Mason Rudolph, you have to address that first before any other player. So I'm excited to see the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think they're going to be as dominant as they have been in the past few years. And they're not going to, I making my prediction right now, they don't even make to the playoffs. And the majority of the reason is going to be the quarterback. So I'm excited, but do not have my hopes very high, if at all. Emmanuel Sanders changing, signed with the Buffalo Bills, taking advantage of the rule change where he can now change the numbers, and going to be wearing number 1. That is crazy. He in New Orleans and in San Francisco wore number 17, if you guys didn't know. And when he signed the Bills, they were going to give him number 10. Apparently now he switched from the number 10 to the number 1. And Mitchell Trubisky is going to keep the number 10. So Mitchell Trubisky doesn't change numbers from the Bears to the Bills, still wearing number 10. Emmanuel Sanders goes from number 17 to number 10 to number 1 now. I'm excited to see what he does. I know alongside of Stephon Diggs, I think that's going to be an absolute monster of a tandem. But I'm excited to see the Bills. Like I said, I think Bills are literally top 2 in the AFC. Pete Carroll came on the news for saying that, he's excited for his first pick in the first round pick. They asked him, what do you feel about not having a first round pick this year? And he says, I do. Jamal Adams, I picked him first round. And I love that. Obviously, that's not quote for quote, but I love that because it's true, right? I'm not a big fan of projections. I'm really not. I need to see somewhat of an evidence at least. And I don't think that there's a first-round pick in this draft that is equal to Jamal Adams. Now, the Seattle Seahawks, because they're always in the playoffs, it's never going to be a high pick. This year is going to be the number 23 overall pick. And if you look, there is no Jamal Adams in this draft. So I love it. I always prefer, it has to be factual. Jamal Adams, great safety in college, great safety in the NFL. It worked. No longer want to be with the Jets. Hey, I'll pick him up from you. Here's my first round pick. Because of the next 2 years, it's a need that I'm going to have to address. And I know for a fact Jamal Adams can do it in the NFL at the highest level. And that's why I have such a problem with the 49ers, because you're trading up the farm for the number 3 overall pick. You don't even get the number 1 overall pick. You don't get the number 2 overall pick. You get for the number 3. And now that you have the opportunity to trade for Aaron Rodgers, who has been able to do great quarterback stuff at the highest level, now you don't have the farm to trade for him. Now you have to go on based on projection. And that's not okay. So if I love this, Jamal Adams, what a beast he has been for the Seahawks. Now, only played 12 games last year, but did make an impact. 59 total tackles, 14 quarterback hits. The year before, New York Jets, half of it was he's made the Pro Bowl the last 3 years. He made an All-Pro team, first team All-Pro 2019 last year, 2 years ago. He's been an absolute monster. And like I said, I don't believe that there's anybody in the NFL draft, this upcoming draft, that is equal to Jamal Adams in his ability to play safety. Moving on, final topic. It was going to be a short episode today because, like I said, I'm prepping for the draft. I'm ready. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'll probably be posting Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, beyond the stats. Look for the logo. For Jimmy G, apparently the 49ers are not planning to move on from Jimmy G unless they are swept off their feet. It's not going to happen. They're going to have to move on from him. They're paying him too much for him to be the backup. They have other backups for that. Josh Rosen. They have, CJ Beathard. I think he's still on the team. So if I am the 49ers, I'm not even putting this out there. It's just ridiculous. I know that there's teams that are offering, and I know that this changes everything because before this draft, Jimmy G was the biggest name to be able to be traded for in the NFL, right? And now that just is replaced with Aaron Rodgers. Literally, who would you rather want? Aaron Rodgers or Jimmy G? Hands down, has to be Aaron Rodgers. So I'm excited to see what happens. And I'm just excited. So I think that's going to be it for today, guys. I can't even focus. I'm just trying to get on this draft. I'm trying to follow everything that's going on. But, like I said, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, everything you guys can. And I'm excited for the draft. We're going to be talking about everything that happened, everything that's going to happen, everything that could happen tomorrow. And, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys enjoy the draft, get a few beers, order pizza, wings, whatever you guys do. This is going to be monumental today. So I'm excited, and I'll see you guys later.